Okay, we're going to get started on this award. As you all know, we're a 501c3, which means we are a charity. We live by donations. And this award, Ms. Luquette schemed up, is to honor one of our greatest donors. And I'd like Christy to take the mic and say a few words.
Too late. Our Scott was truly one of a kind. He passed away right after pilgrimage last year. He was not only was he a founding member, he gave us his heart. And everything he did, his heart was into it. He volunteered. He came and worked. He didn't just give money, he came and worked. And he and I had a conversation one day about that everything he does, he and Paula do together. And that every donation he made to the museum, she was right there by his side and completely supported his decisions. So I went to the Board of Trustees. I felt that Scott is our largest donor to date. And I felt that people who support our museum monetarily and service-wise need to be recognized for what they do. So I proposed to the Board of Trustees that we establish the Paula and Scott Yochum Membership Award. This award is not an annual award. It's not a monthly award. It is designated by the Board of Trustees. The entire board must approve it for someone to be given this award. And the award represents outstanding contributions or service to the Klipsch Museum of Audio History. We also unanimously approved that Scott Yochum would be the first member to receive this award. This is his family. I think his daughter Lauren is going to accept his award. Steve does have a few words that he would like to say. So I'm going to hand the mic over to him. Thank you.
Scott Yochum was an usher at our church for decades. He just whispered into my ear, "Steve, if you can road trips to acquire our beloved Klipsch speakers." This shared experience is one of the glues that holds the Klipsch community together. Scott and I came to Hope several times to pick up new speakers that the museum was selling as fundraising. On one trip, the usual crew, Eldon, Christy, Kevin, Jim, etc., were cleaning out the museum basement. We pitched in for a while, and Scott asked Eldon about the piles of dirt behind the building. Eldon said, "You know, we really need a front end loader." And Scott told me, "Come on, let's go get one." We spent about an hour and a half going all over town. We didn't find one. Luckily, they eventually did. On our trip to pick up my new Cornwall 3s to the museum, we took Jim to lunch at Washington State Park. And we talked about the possibility of erecting a building behind the museum to be a Klipsch showcase. Jim took us back into the backyard and showed us where it would be, and then went back into the museum. And while the two of us walked around, Scott said to me 3 times, "You know, we can do this." The next day, Scott called me. "Hey, I've got these red spots pretty much all over, and they itch. Do you know what it could be?" "Yeah, Scott, they're chiggers." And I have them from my ankles to my navel. We got them in the museum's backyard. And I can tell you now, they certainly left us no dignity. The new Murphy Arts District in El Dorado is packed with Klipsch speakers. Scott, Paula, and I have heard the likes of ZZ Top, Lyle Lovett, John Prine, Smokey Robinson, Sammy Hagar, and others on Klipsch speakers, some of them designed specifically by Roy for that venue at MAD. Scott and I were cigar smoking buddies. We would smoke cigars and listen to some KP 201s and talk at length. Mark Twain once said, "If I cannot drink bourbon and smoke cigars in heaven, I shall not go." Well, I know Scott's there. Jim Hunter and I were there for his send-off. It's the only time I've ever heard "Wish You Were Here" and "Stairway to Heaven."
Good evening. My name is Lauren Yochum White, and on behalf of my family, the circus over here, we want to say thank you for your hospitality today. I'm going to stick to my paper because I did pass oral comm in college, but I just need to stay right here. How to receive the best combination of sound. He taught us the important things in life. And despite the possibility of losing a finger or hand at the touch of these fancy pieces of electronics, we have lots of really good memories of sing-alongs and dance parties that we'll never forget. And thanks to Klipsch, our favorite lyrics and melodies were brought to life through the crisp clarity and high efficiency of legendary products. And you might say that our ears are a little high maintenance musically, but we were spoiled very early on with some of the greatest things. So we have Klipsch to thank for that, and Mom and Daddy. As we witnessed firsthand the laid-back atmosphere here at the pilgrimage, it's easy to understand why Daddy loved it so much. He was very much a homebody, but yearly he was very eager to plan his trip here. And we can see why now, and we thank you for allowing that enjoyment in his life, and being a part of it. One of our greatest memories from last year, Daddy sent us a picture of a text message, and he had put edible stickers that had the Klipsch logo on several dozens of sugar cookies for y'all to have here. And that was impressive for Daddy. I don't know if you remember, but I mean, his pace was not that of like a jaguar or anything like that. It was more turtle and chilled out. So we were very impressed that he made his deadline of getting those here. But Daddy was always a giver, and he took care of people. That's what he did. So it's with great humility that we accept this award. He and Mama have always done things hand in hand, and being part of Klipsch was one of those. And I know if Daddy was here with us tonight, he'd make it very clear that his time and his finances are not to be recognized. He'd probably have one of those yellow buttons and show that to you in silence as to how he thought about it, but he would be very grateful. He never questioned, what amount would it take to get my name on this t-shirt or to be in this tier of gifting. That wasn't his heart. It was very much like his wardrobe, and it was very humble and through the desires of his heart that he would give. So we thank you for having the heart to see Daddy's work behind the scenes, and we thank you for recognizing the love that he had for the music and Klipsch throughout his life. We've been trying to kind of think of what to say over the past few weeks, and when we went to see Daddy's headstone this past weekend and just kind of glanced over and saw my grandmother, his mother's headstone, and it has the treble clef and different chords and music notes, and it just kind of hit us like this is a generational thing. And what Klipsch does is help pass that along to generations. So the legend and quality of the Klipsch brand serves as a solid common grounds for everyone here today. Truth be told, it's really just the relationships that probably keep us.
And then in the museum, there will be a plaque that will have the names of the recipients on it also. And of course, the top of this plaque says Paula and Scott Yochum Membership Award. So we're always going to be in the And we have an annual event here called the Founders Event, which was earlier. And it was a small group of people who, when we really needed it, really stepped up and did the right thing and did a great thing for all of us that we'll be able to share forever. But the man who did it the biggest and the most and the quietest was Scott. And we will always and forever be in his debt.